So first of all, let's look at the data. We are going to use these FASTQ files. Let's check them. Yeah, these are smaller ones. We are going to use these ones. And then we are also going to use the reference sequence. Now, for this data, we are dealing with this organism, Drosophila melanogaster. So the sequence reads are for this organism. So take note of that. So we will need to also get a reference sequence. So we will need a FASTA file and then the DTF file. I think the DTF file, we can find the link somewhere here. Somewhere here. I found it here. Let's scroll down. The link is here. So we have it here. And then for the FASTA file, we will check it on the UCSC website. So this is the UCSC page where we can download the FASTA file. I'll leave the link to this page, and I'll also leave the link to this page in the description box. So that's what we are going to do. Now, because we have a couple of files, what we are going to do is to get all the links into a script. We will write a script that will download all the necessary files for us. So what we need to do is to get the download links, and then we will use that to download the necessary files. So let's go back to a terminal and then prepare our environment. Okay, we are on the terminal now. So what we will do first is to create a working directory. So we will say make the RNA-seq, and then we are going to cd into it. And so this means that files that we will generate will all be stored or saved in the directory. And it's important we do this because we would like to separate all the files that we are going to generate from files that are already on our PC. Okay, so now we have created it, we have seeded into it. So what we are going to do next is to download the necessary files. So first of all, let's go back. We need to organize our links. So let's go back to the various web pages or the various places where we can get the download links. Okay, so we will start with the Galaxy page where we have the files we will need. We will use these files. We have 2 samples here. Then we also have our GTF, which is the reference sequence here. Then we also have our FASTA file, which is here, this one here. So we are going to get all these files. So we need to get the links. So first of all, let's go back to the terminal. And then on the terminal, we are going to create a script. And in that script, we will place all the links and then execute that script. So we will do a batch download here. So I'll say nano download data.sh. I'm using nano, but you can also use VI or any text editor for that matter. So take note of that. So I'll open it and then I'll go and then bring all my links. So I'll start with the Galaxy platform. I'll check the files I have. I'll use these files. So I'll copy all the links and then I'll paste them here. So I have my scripts opened. I'm going to edit. So I'll paste the links there. These are the links. I'm going to use wget to download. So I'll just place wget here just to get them there. I have them like this. So let's continue. So we have wget, but there is something else I would like to do, and that is to modify these names here. So I'm going to download them all right, but I'll also rename them so that I have shorter names. So what I'm going to do is to keep only these ones, the ID here and then the one, which is used to distinguish between the forward and the reverse. We are dealing with paired and reads. So I'll, this one, for example, I'll say -o, and then I'll put that name there, and I'll say dot Pascal Sanga on somewhere. Let me do this. Let me decrease the text size a bit. Okay, now it's okay now. So I'll do same for this. So dash O. I'll paste this here. I'll say dot Pascal Sanga just to keep them. I'll do same for this. Then I'll do same for this. Please note that this O is uppercase. Okay, so I have them there. You should also know that what I've done here, there is a better way of automating the download process, but because I'm assuming that some of the viewers may be beginners, that is why I'm trying to make it in this way so that you can understand whatever I'm doing. But there are ways to automate this process, okay, without you having to specify wget every time. But these are things that will be good for advanced people, but that's something that we'll cover in another tutorial. But if you're also interested in automating some Linux activities, you can always reach out to me. I will leave my contact in the description box. Now let's get the reference sequence. We will need the first A file and then the DTF. So let's go and get the download links. Okay, so let's first get the DTF, which is here. Should be somewhere here. Yeah, this one. We will get this link here. Or actually, let's do it this way. We don't need to use the DTF here. We can still use the one here, the one in this particular web page. Ideally, it's advisable to download the first A and then the DTF from the same database. So I'll download everything here. I think that should be better. So let's download the ones here. So we get the first A and then the DTF. So the DTF can be found in the gens directory. So first of all, let's get this link. We'll right click and then copy the link. And then we will paste it here. So I'll say wget and then I'll paste the link there. Then let's get a DTF. So when we are here, just search for gens, this one here, click it, and then you will see the DTF, which is here, dm6.ensgen.dtf.gz. So let's get this one, right click, then copy the link. And then you can paste it here. So I'll say wget, and then I'll paste the link here. So this is the link for the DTF file. So that's it. So let's save the changes. And then let's execute the script. Now with the execution, you can use bash like this and then call the script and execute it. Or you can also use this approach where you say slash. You can do it this way. I prefer to do it this way. So if I'm going to do it this way, then I need to modify the script again. I'll use this opportunity to show you a couple of things when it comes to writing scripts. So I'll go back again. I'll say nano. I'll edit the script here. Then the first line here, I'll say /bin/bash. So this tells Linux that whenever we execute the scripts, bash should be used to run the commands here. That's basically what this means, the shebang line. So I'll exit the script again. I've made the changes. Now I'm going to add execution rights. So I'll say chmod +x. I'll say download data.sh. So I'll have it done this way. So now let's do an ls. We should find download data.sh here. Okay, so now we can download the data. So I'll use dot slash. Now call it this way, but you can also use bash and then also call it. So whichever one is appropriate, use that one, but I'll do this dot slash and I'll download the data. So let's download the data now. Okay, so the files are currently being downloaded. Okay, all the files have been downloaded. So let's check them out. Let's do an ls and then check the files. So we have our FastScale files here. We also have the reference sequence, the DTF and then the FastA. These two files, you can see that the extensions are .gz. That means that they have been compressed. So we will process them. Now we are going to place the FastScale files in another directory. So let's create a directory. We will say make the data. And then we are going to say make the data slash FastScale. I'm doing this so that I can group my files. Okay, it also makes my work more organized, and it's easy to locate files if you have naming conventions and if you also have folders that you can put them in. So I'll move all the FastScale files into this directory. So I'll say mv and I'll say gsm. Let me use gsm and I'll say star. So all files that begin with gsm will be moved. And we can see that we have 4 files, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the FastScale files. So I'll move them to data slash FastScale. So now if I do an ls into data slash FastScale, I should see them there. Okay, so that's what we have done now. So we have our FastScale files ready. Now let's work on the reference sequence. Let's do an ls again. Of course, we will see this directory, but we are going to look at our reference sequence here. We have the DTF, we also have the FastA. Oh, these are gzip, they are compressed, so we need to decompress them or uncompress. So we will first start with the DTF here. So we say j unzip em6.ens and then we complete the name. So let's uncompress this. So we are using the gunzip utility. So now let's do an ls and you will see that it has been uncompressed, and that is why it no longer has the .gz as an extension. Let's work on the FastA file. We say gunzip em6.fa.gz. So let's run this command. That has also been done. So we can do an ls and then see that's there. Let's do one more thing. I normally prefer to have a naming convention for my files. So what I'm going to do next is to rename this DTF file here. I am going to remove this name here, the ENSGen. I will remove that so that we can have the same base name for the reference sequences, and then these names will be followed by their respective extensions. So I will do that as well. So I'll rename this one here. So I'll say mv dm6.ensgen.dtf and I'll say dm6.gtf. So let's do an ls and you will see that's there. So now we have these two files which are also good. So we are going to move these files also into this directory. So we will create a directory called ref. So I will say make the data slash ref, and then I'll move these files there. So I'll say mv dm6 star. I'll say data slash ref. So they have been moved there. So that is good. Now let's check those files also out. So let's do an ls and let's say ls data. You will see the ref directory there. So now we are going to say ls data. Let's do it again. We will say ls data slash ref. And then we will have our files there. So now we have our files ready. So it's time to proceed with the next activity. So let's continue.